I want people to understand that there's so much to life, whether you're the CEO or the janitor.
Given everything you do at 150% will change your mindset and your perception of what you're doing.
Yes.
I said, just don't go into a job thinking it's beneath you, and then it changes your mind. Then you're a habitual complainer. But you're not going to accomplish shit with it. I mean, if you don't like it, learn the job, love the job, own the job.
Man, I do this, not a new kid, been a student. You're a doofus, on the real, if you clueless. When I shoot shit, style too crisp.
Welcome to the Now or Never podcast, all things entrepreneurship. People who just take life and kick it square in the ass with my special guest, my beautiful wife, Miss Brittney Rexius.
Hey.
Hey.
I know you guys missed that.
Everybody did. You know, she does it at home all the time.
Your ratings tanked while I was gone.
My ratings did not tank while I was gone. They just weren't quite as good. So, we haven't had a podcast here in probably a month and a half. And, and people were asking, we got a lot of comments from people like, when's the next episode? So we're going to kind of do is kind of a 2020 wrap up of all the things that went on with the podcast this year. And then, obviously a lot of you who follow me on social media have seen the better lack of a better term, a shit show that was my November, which kind of led to, why we didn't post the last two podcasts that we recorded and whatnot. So 2020 started out with Gangbuster season 2 out in Pittsburgh, Seth Feroci, and all the guys from Axis Sledge, Zach and Pat and all those guys. And of course, the original baller herself, the entrepreneur, Miss Sue, Mama Sue, came out. Chad's mom was there. It was awesome. We got to go out and meet those guys and some of the most genuine, phenomenal people. Seth and I talked so long, they ended up making a 2-part episode. And I think to this day it was the most views, the quickest I've ever had on any podcast I've ever done. And, he gave a shout out. He gave us shout out several times on his podcast, which was cool. Yep. And I actually had somebody bring it up yesterday in the store, be like, "You were on Seth's podcast." I'm like,
talking about Roman playing with his nuts.
Yeah, talking about Roman playing, just being naked, just playing with some little boy. Thanks for bringing that up. And what a great time that was. And then, obviously COVID happened. And so we had to adapt and thank God, Chad was quick on the swivel. Like a good tight end that he is back in high school. Got to bring that back 99 style. What's up, bro? We, were able to zoom in podcasts. We got the John Meadows back on. We had the Kook, Steve and Amanda Kuklo. They zoomed in. We had quite a few. And honestly, we were, and Joe Binley from Project AD, good friend Joe, had a lot of them come in. Then we were able to start getting some people in the studio again and some of our business partners, but it's just been kind of a crazy year. We've all been through craziness. And as much as I learned from 2020, I'm ready for 2020 to straight go to hell and bring on 2021 because I turned 40 last week or 2 weeks ago. Not real happy about the whole, screw aging gracefully bullshit.
But you're doing it so well. You're like a fine wine, boo-boo.
Oh, thanks, honey. She has to say those things to me. It's part of our vows. She has to tweak my ego. So, but it's been phenomenal. We went from 9 followers when we started this thing a year and a half ago to just over 12,000 on YouTube. We've had, I can't tell you how many millions of minutes watched on YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes. It's been awesome, and my thing is it's our way of paying it forward. So if you like this, you like what we do, share the podcast, go back to their episode, share, tag, subscribe, follow, share the damn thing. I don't get paid doing this. I think I've almost made $100 on YouTube, which means I'm a negative many zeros. Yeah, I've lost a lot of money. But anyway, it's what we do. And this is something that we have a lot of passion for, is helping pay it forward. We've started doing some how-to videos. Yeah. How to create an LLC online. That one's actually going to blow past everything I've done just because I don't want to pay a lawyer $1,200. You can do it online for $200. You like that video, go check it out. They're short. They're 10 minutes. And how to set up an operating agreement. I'm going to do some more. If you got suggestions, email it into us. You can go to timrexius.com for links to everything. There's a contact form on there. Otherwise, go to rexiusnutrition.com. You can contact us there as well. So, but 2020 was a weird year as far as the podcast, but obviously good for the podcast. We kind of blew up, and it was pretty awesome in that aspect. But obviously, we've had to roll with the punches, and I think just our genuineness if you would agree, and our honesty and our just, transparency, is why we probably grew so much this year.
Yeah. What you see is what you get.
What you see is what you get, and seeing us with small businesses going to struggle and figure this out in multiple states and regulations with all the BS that has happened this year with all the things that were out of our hands. And I think I think a lot of business owners who I had 3 of them call me yesterday alone just asking for new guidance on the new PPP that just got, should get signed today. And saying that, watching me be calm through the storm as much as we had on the line was reassuring to them. And I'm glad that, the fact that I've gone through so much crazy shit the last 10 years that wasn't the biggest disaster that ever happened. It was a pretty big disaster, but as far as our business, we've faced a lot of shit shows, to say the least. And so it was just another one on the bedpost that we were able to figure out and navigate so far. So, now the elephant in the room, and we're not talking about my ears. Thanks, Chad. A lot of you saw on social media that we had to remove a franchise contract. And now there are some contracts signed, some non-disclosure agreements and stuff. So I'm not going to name anybody, and I got blowback negative and I got a lot of positive from this, but, people get very heightened when it comes to political parties and politics, especially during an election year, especially during a presidential election, especially this one more than anything. If you watch the movie Social Dilemma on Netflix, I think that'll explain to you a lot why people are getting so imparted and so embodied into their side. I think a lot of it's got a lot to do with it, but people start to lack some judgment in things that they post that they normally would never say to somebody's face, but they have some level of
barrier
and almost they're remiss from good judgment and values and morals and just good public behavior, because they're keyboard warriors, and whether they're intending to be one or not is inconsequential to the fact that choices have consequences. And so what had happened, and this has got nothing to do with my political affiliation whatsoever, so I'll just give it to you straight. Somebody had put up a post about Kamala Harris after election, VP-elect, breaking the ceiling, first woman VP and first woman of color in that role. And obviously it was a pro-Democrat, political figure here, but she is breaking the ceiling. Mm-hmm. Whether I voted for her or didn't vote for her is inconsequential. She's still doing something,
right.
Whether I agree with policies or don't agree with policies, it doesn't matter.
Democrat or Republican, she's still a woman.
She's still a woman who has done something which is, it's not been done before.
Right.
That's awesome. And the same as when Barack Obama got elected in 2008. He's the first, black man to be elected president. That's, whether I agreed or agreed with him, it's consequential. He did something great.
Yeah.
And, anyway, somebody put up a post, and one of our franchisees decided to put a comment and said she only got there by sucking bleep, though. That's not what they put. And they did as their personal, but understand in business, you are your business. The business is you. And social media makes the entire country one big small town. And so within an hour, as I'm on a Saturday night working on my house, trying to go get food for my kids, I get a call from my managers, and he goes, "You better check some stuff out online." I hadn't had 5 or 6 negative reviews between our 8 locations that we have owned in probably 10 years, and I had 70 in an hour.
Yeah.
To the point that our kids are getting messages. Anyone with the last name Rexius is getting messages. It was devastating. And the funny thing was, the first 5 days before that, I had just sold my first fully wholly owned female franchise out in Kearney. And so to see this kind of attitude towards women get portrayed because of political affiliation is bullshit.
Yeah.
And I literally was watching our business go down, because, and somebody else goes, it's just a cancel culture. No, cancel culture is saying you're canceled because you did something 10 years ago. This was a choice you made now that you did not apologize for. And that's what it was. And you weren't apologetic for it whatsoever. It'd been one thing if you had stood up and said, "Hey, I'm an ass. I made a mistake. Right. I said this, and no one's beyond redemption. I'm a Christian. This is firmly a core value of what I believe," but it wasn't even an apology to us. And so it was what it was. And I had to make take quick action. I didn't go to bed for 2 days. I responded to every single message, every single negative review. You can ask her. I was about to tap the vein, start going bang energy drinks right in the blood. And I was just, up. And honestly, the response was really good. People were very proud. And did I get some blowback? You bet. Like, well, your side this. Like I said, do you think I have a political side in this? I said, I don't. Listen, people. If we continuously use the prism of red or blue to justify our actions, our inactions, our natural bias, or our own opinions, instead of using the premise of right or wrong, we are all screwed. And it happens all the time. We use team mentality to justify our beliefs. We only follow things that reaffirm our already existing opinion. And then it gets worse, and people exacerbate each other in this circumstance, and it happens on social media. I've said it on here in this podcast a couple hundred times. Only have political discussions in person.
Yeah.
Because then you can find out if somebody really knows what they're talking about, or if it's the copy and paste bullshit from somebody else who didn't know what they were talking about. And people can't, and you can bring back that level of civil discourse that is necessary in society for us to be a truly advanced society. And I think that that's been lost. And I used a premise of right or wrong, regardless if I do or do not agree with her political standing. I have 3 daughters and I have a wife. I have a mother and a grandmother who are the closest thing to saints that exist on this planet. And it's no different than if she achieved something, my daughter achieved something, and somebody making the comment that they only got there for performing sexual acts is bullshit.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely bullshit. And it's something that we took to heart real well. I'm like, no, that is not why I started this company. The reason that we put Rexius, the last name, on the door wasn't for ego or bravado. It was because we believed back in the old time of the family business. You know who the owner was. You know what they represented. You know what the family was all about, that this is a company you can trust in. No more of this corporate BS that we see so much of, but an actual family-run, family-owned, family-oriented, family-valued company. And that obviously went against every value and moral that we hold dear. Yeah. So action had to be taken. And just for updates, like, listen, he walked away. We didn't argue. And when he finally did respond, we were able to get him off the lease and buy out the store and have a new franchisee take it over and rebrand it within weeks, which was good for both parties and made the most amicable separation as humanly possible. But that's the reason why I haven't posted the other 2 podcasts we recorded before that, because we had spoken about them in that podcast, and it just seems like so much has happened since then. And just so you guys know, I'm like, you always say that, people were coming at us real hard, and I'm trying to, like, people realize that you never know what somebody else is going through. People need this instant gratification and justification on social media. And I played to this game way more often than I should. I was already going through my own shit at that time, which is another reason why I haven't posted much. Is, I had some health scares. So for weeks, for about 8 weeks, my white blood cell count was super low and they were afraid I had cancer. So when Nebraska Cancer pops up on your phone 17 times in a week, reminding you about your appointment on Friday, I was 39, 40 now, and I got 6 kids and a phenomenal wife, young companies, and my mind was on that, trying to figure out how to lose weight so I could get better life insurance for my kids. It was the last thing on my mind was that somebody was going to do some asshole shit that I had to take away from my family and the time I was trying to spend with them, and trying to deal with a possible diagnosis that I was obviously on my mind for 8 weeks and extremely fearful of. And people wanted to have more dialogue with me, more this. I'm like, remember, on social media, just because you want it instantly at your fingertips, you don't know somebody else's pain. You don't know what somebody else is going through. And same for him. I don't know why he posted that. I still don't. Yeah. And so I don't know what's going on with his life. And all I can do is pray for him and hope that he finds peace and solace in whatever he needs to move on with his life in the most possible positive way possible. Yeah. But understand, so we were able to, the Friday before my birthday, like 3 weeks after this event happened, I went in and they did another blood test and this blood smear thingy to see if my cells were abnormal. They weren't, so it's a non-cancer diagnosis. Praise the Lord. They still don't know why my white blood cell count is low. I told my wife it's because I exuberate so much awesomeness that's exhausting my blood. Can't keep up with my attitude. But it's a wake up call. It's a checkup call for me that my stress levels are probably what's causing it, because I have a tendency to bite off way more than I can chew because of my ambition. My ambition is legendary, but it's not good for longevity. So just trying to make the right adaptions and then adjustments and remember what's important. So
I think that's a good lesson that everybody can take too, is you never know what somebody else is going through. If you pass somebody on the street and they're in a bad mood or upset, they may have gotten horrible news. Just be kind. Like, especially, I don't know, there's so much negativity and hate spewed constantly everywhere you turn, that be the light in the world, be the change, be the person that walks down the street and smiles at somebody or waves at somebody or just laughs and has fun, just to turn somebody's day around.
That's exactly it. And I think if you watch this podcast the last year and a half, and that's something that's been a resolving thing, what we're doing, we're paying it forward. So here's the term: be a daymaker. Be a daymaker. We heard this story from a former employee of ours that was awesome, that you don't know what your words kind of impact. I mean, I don't remember the whole story, but she was working on somebody's hair and was just super nice and was just asking about their day. And then, they could tell they were depressed. So she just talked them up and all these things. And then found out months later, I think it was, that person was getting their hair cut and then they were planning on going to kill themselves. Yeah. And it saved their life just by a few kind words, by showing a little bit of attention, by listening instead of talking. And you learn a lot more by listening than you ever will by talking. And you just be surprised. And that's why I told the company when all this crap was going on with COVID, and all the crap, obviously, with the franchise break, I go, we will be 100% positive. I don't want to hear anything. I told every part-time employee, we have a lot of part-time employees. Yeah. If you're politically driven on social media, please remove all things Rexius from your page, because it's not producing anything positive. And I go, I only want to be about positive right now. I want us all to be somebody's daymaker. And that's the mission for the Rexius family, really, the Rexius Nutrition family and Iron Evan family and every other company we have family, and be a daymaker. Be more impressed with that. And we did the toy drive for the stores and we overloaded the stores, and everybody's like, what's the big deal with this? So the big deal is that I can't control what lockdowns happen. I can't control what restrictions are put in place by government. I can't control what happens with the damn virus. I can't control if the government gives us money or not. The only thing I can control is my actions. The only thing one thing I can do is try to make somebody else's day brighter. And it's amazing when you do that, how much it feeds your soul. Yeah. And you realize that there are kids, like I have a roof over my head. My kids are healthy. We have money in the bank. My businesses are still open. I may be working 80 hours a week, but my businesses are still open. So I may get tired, but I'm not going to bitch. Yeah. I am blessed. I am blessed in this aspect. And there are people out there who are not as blessed. And so if I can make some kids' Christmas brighter, you'd be surprised at what families are in your neighborhood that maybe can't afford their kid a Christmas this year.
Yeah. What did they say? My city had 250 kids,
250 families or something like that
each got 3 gifts and
they loaded them up.
Yeah.
And that was completely worth it, And it was funny because people were walking by my store and I got this thing and I'm being obnoxious about it every other day on social media. And I have these older guys who just shop at Baker's, and by my shop, they come to the store every once in a while and say hi because they live in the neighborhood, but they don't buy anything. And they do walk by, what are you doing here? I'm like, making kids' Christmas brighter? All right, give me 10 minutes. Old dude, never bought a thing in my shop. Rocked over to Baker's, bought $30, $40 of the toys, brought it back, dropped it off. Yeah. And he's like, Merry Christmas. So I'm like, you, sir, are a badass. I said, I really wish you weren't like 900 years old and you could buy some supplements. I would totally hook you up. And I had a lot of people. We had another guy come in and he wanted to know, where's this going? What's it for? We explained it to him. He goes, okay, cool. Went out to his car, opened up the back and brought in 3 truckloads worth of toys into our store because he just had it on his heart to do something for somebody, followed us on social media, saw it and was like, so if I'm going to use our power of our social media and our popularity or whatever it is, it's going to be for good. And then we're going to be somebody's daymaker, and that's it. And sometimes it's anonymous and sometimes it's just a kind word to somebody on the street. So I'm just step up. I mean, we as a society have to take care of each other. And this is not a political thing. The government's not going to fix it for you. Your teachers aren't going to fix it for you. A therapist isn't going to fix it for you. We can fix each other. Yeah. We can help each other. It just takes an action. Nobody else needs to tell you what to do. Just do something nice. If you're going to be on social media, which you all are, take a week and literally just every one of you, don't argue with a single person on social media for 7 days about anything. If you don't like what they have to say, unfollow, just move past. Don't put one negative argumentative topic on social media for 7 days and see how it changes your attitude. Because it will change your attitude. I guarantee it. We don't realize what a negative impact some of those things when we get into this tit for tat, especially with politics. It's been ugly this year.
Reading the negative comments or
reading them, which I mean, there's a few social media accounts that we follow that are straight shit shows that are just more entertaining. It's like watching a train wreck live. I'm not saying that, but we've kind of just said like our energy is, I'm tired. I'm going to give my extra energy to my kids and this insane construction project that we have going on in our house. So anyways, we just wanted to say thank you to everyone who has followed this podcast, who shops at our stores, who are members at our gym, who buy the VHI OPP, who share the videos and subscribe and they like and they share it to people. And, we've seen some really crazy impacts that this thing has had last year and a half, which just is honestly so ridiculously humbling to both Brittney and I. And especially since she's on this episode, because I'll have way better views this time.
Duh.
And especially thanks to Chad for, producing this badass thing, because this has been awesome. And, anyways, here's to finishing out 2020 strong on a good high note.
Yep.
Be a daymaker and bring on 2021. Well, season 3, it's going to be crazy. Hopefully COVID shit is over. I can have life. Guess we're going to take this. We're traveling. As soon as the hell I can travel, we are gone. And we are going to go. We're going to go interview people in other states. We're going to go all over the place. Maybe change the scenery. Might move some of the table stuff in the back of the shop and just have some fun and get back to seeing what what we can do with the. I mean, a lot of you guys are going to be sweeping up messes from 2020 and 2021 with your businesses, and that's what this podcast is about, and we're here to help you. So God bless. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy all of it.
Happy all of it. So love you guys.
The story is you are you and I am me. Just be. I'm a gentleman, now I'm settled in. Even when they said don't let them in, I said guess again. What's the way I walk into a room and everybody stare? Godfather like presents, everybody know I'm here. Stepping right into my office, pouring bourbon on the rocks. Toast to the homies that could never see the light, and the haters that forever see my ghost. What a night.